How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to Mamiya. I'm not sure how well this video is going to go just because I feel like I'm teetering on the edge of being sick. And it's like, I'm at that point where I have to decide, am I too sick to record? Like, do I take a break or not? Because that's the thing. It's like, if I get sick, especially on the few days where I can record, it pretty much means all content stops on the channel. I don't want it to stop. I'm really excited with the stuff we're doing, but we'll just see. Obviously, I know... take care of myself. I know you all mostly aren't going anywhere, and that's wonderful. But it's just, you know, food for thought when you're watching this. Like, I'm right on the edge of whether or not I want to record, so we're gonna see. But that's okay. We'll figure it out as we go. Anyway, I did a little test at the end of the last video and found out that this isn't the end as I thought it was. I thought it was like it essentially just be like the end of this journey. But nope, there's more, so we'll see how this plays out. But I'm really excited. I do think if there's a true ending to this, like, I think we got it this time. But that also makes me think that if it didn't get the true ending on the other two for sure. So, yeah. But let's see how this all plans out, shall we? Anyway, I hope this is all going well. And the meandering, the trouble I can see in the upcoming videos for this series is that since there's so much overlap in the stories, I do feel like it's going to be interesting, and we're probably going to end up seeing a lot of replayed scenes despite my best efforts to probably try and cut them out. So I hope that's not too much of a burden. We'll have to just go for it as best we can. It's a beautiful game series, but it's definitely one of the most convoluted I've ever come across, where it's just so intertwined. Even the nature of the story is about like crossing and mixing times and places and people that really shouldn't mix. So it makes perfect sense that the story itself plays out that way, but it still means it's hard to make video content for. But regardless of that, let's jump right in. Fern Witch 06 or Fernway. You should start by not living in that abandoned building. Why? Did you just become upset because I implied there's a problem with your way of life? I didn't, really. I just wondered why. You want to do right by those around you, right? You should start by treasuring yourself. Here, get a place to stay with this. It should be enough for a cheap business hotel. Huh? Don't you dare use it for gambling, though. Seriously. Hold on, Tojo. This is a 10k yen. This is a lot for a student. There's no way I could take this from you. It's fine. I got a part-time job, so I actually have more money than you. Alright, I get that I messed up by haunting this crappy, dirty building. But I still won't take the money. What will you do then? I'll talk to my family. You should rent a place then. Huh? I'll be your co-signer. But I don't have money. Then you can repay me once you do, and while I'm still alive. I won't rush you. Anyway, remind me, do you know how to play shogi? Ooh, kinda. It's kinda boring at the hospital, so play a game with me. I didn't think I could do something so father and son-like with you. I often played shogi with my father, so I was dreaming of the day I got to play it with my own children. I suppose you can't give up on such things. Oh? I lost. You did. You're pretty good, though. I used to play a lot. Oh, with your friends. With Touma, and quite often, too. That made me realize something. All my memories involve him. I feel like I mistreated him. He was so focused on being a well-adjusted person that I couldn't pamper him at all. Pamper Touma? He probably wanted to be, just had a stronger sense of responsibility than most. He pampered me all the time in the past. You're his little brother. You shouldn't worry too much about that. Little brother, huh? Yeah, but Touma turned out to be kind of a scumbag. My little brother. Brothers always had to support and help each other. Yes, that's why my father's been telling me since I was little. It wasn't a burden. Haruki is important to me, and he helps me too. The gall to say that. He placed the children's book he'd been holding back on the desk and let out a sigh. The book was now out of print, and surely neither Ni'igaki, Mayuri, or Samajiva Satoru knew about it. Morichika Touma was Arasagara Osamu's sole reader. I wonder what Arasagawa would say if he saw me as I am now. Remembering his various lessons he had got from talking with him, Touma hung his head. I should have become a hero. A brave, humorous boy, the kind who appears in Arasagawa Osamu's books. But now, I'm like the evil wizard. I didn't want to know that dirty smile. Touma, what are you thinking? He remembered Ni'igaki's enraged shouts as she confronted him in the cold hospital hallway. You made him bedridden and his health is declining. Are you really his brother? Oh, she made him bedridden? What? In a strange twist of fate, Touma's brother had been nice to Ni'igaki as she was completely serious about this. I am. I'll always be his brother no matter what kind of person I am. He'll always be my brother no matter what kind of person he becomes. It was an area that strangers like Ni'igaki couldn't step into. Neither of us can escape that. It was a connection that had been there since the day they were born. It's unforgivable. Why had it turned out like this? The year 2006. A few years had passed since his mother had left home for work-related reasons. So his mother left around the same time that Suo was killed by Ryo. And yeah, so like a lot of events are still all happening around the same time periods, which is interesting. Though he'd grown, Haruki was struggling with health issues that forced him to visit the hospital on a regular basis. After returning from studying abroad, Touma had begun to live by himself, but he still put in effort to visit his father regularly. Touma, is life going well for you? Yes, though I have my hands full with the instrument maintenance, I'm sorry I can't send you money. Don't worry about me. I'm happy as long as you're living doing what you'd want to do. A young man could hardly make a living just by playing music. Touma was actually aware of this and had recently given himself more work in after-school childcare. That is not a direction I expected him to go in. Though, if it becomes too much, don't hesitate to tell me. Whatever you do, you always have an advantage, and if you do it early, please don't forget that. His mother was absent, his brother was sickly. Touma was the only one in the family capable of carrying his father's feelings. By now, he was used to visiting the hospital. What are you reading? The Moon Over the Mountain. It was touched on during Japanese class, so I got curious. I see. I brought a change of clothes. Do you want anything else? Stop treating me like a kid. I'm already 16. There's a library nearby, so I can borrow books from. Haruki's sitting next to his bed, looking so healthy, Touma found it sad to see that he had to be locked in here. Dad's being treated at home. They say he's gonna get better soon. Oh, I see. Haruki didn't know what to say. His relationship with their father hadn't been particularly good. I'm glad to hear that. Following those blunt words, he shifted focus back to the book in his hand. Touma wasn't able to resume practicing for the competition. Haruki, huh? Honestly, we want to discharge him as soon as we can. When Touma asked the doctor when his brother would be released, almost urging him, the doctor gave an unexpected answer. What do you mean? Did he cause trouble? Trouble? You know that he's handsome, right? Well, we received a report that his looks may have charmed our nurses a little. Well, it's not that it's his fault. He just has a sinfully handsome face. I'll pass that over to him. I'm glad he has such a reliable brother. Try not to stress him out, though. Of course. Thank you. You asked me not to treat you like a kid, but you still are. Yeah, the book you recommended was good. You got any more? Touma heard his brother's voice next to the sound of the wind blowing in through the window. He seemed to be talking over the phone. Touma had bought him so they could match their schedules. You really know what I like, huh? Never heard that one. Oh, it's a movie. Was it a friend? It had been a while since Touma saw him leave a friendly conversation friendly conversation with someone else. The relief made him smile. Wonder if they have it at a video store. The director's latest work is also coming out soon. I'd love to go see it if I'm discharged at the right time. I'm all good, so don't worry too much, Mom. Touma felt like time had frozen in place. What? Who? What did his brother just say just now? Even after her call was done, and even though the pleasant wind caressed Touma's cheek, he was immobilized for a good while. Araki, you're in contact with Mom. Those words Touma hesitantly squeaked out were met with an awkward smile from Haruki. Don't tell Dad, okay? The lip Touma bit into was dry, which fanned the flames of his irritation. There was a question in his mind. Why? Since when? Since 2 years ago, I think. She visited me at the hospital once. Touma questioned why he was the only one who... Where is she? Nagano, obviously. Touma had never heard of that. She wanted to meet you too. In that case, why had she not come back when their father collapsed? It'd be great to live with her soon, huh? He barely recognized this boy. Was the man really his brother? Was he actually Marichika Haruki? Okay. So that's what actually happened. Haruki assumed, based on what his mother said, that she cared about the whole family. For whatever reason, though, she kind of just started ignoring Touma. And Touma took that very personally, which, you know, I get it. The kind of person that this apparently helps fuel him to become is very, 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 very twisted. But I can understand when you see parents treating children inconsistently. It's an incredibly a cruel state. It's not just because it's like, I don't know. It's weird because I think sometimes it can happen without the parents recognizing it if they're not really like self-aware or listening closely to what their kids are saying. I've seen it happen. Heck, I had a good friend who I remember, I never said this to her directly, but she would talk about her dreams and her interests, right? And we shared some of them, which is why we became close. I was one of the few people whom she shared her dreams with because she felt so kind of ashamed of them in a way, but not really. She liked writing, like I do. That was what drew us together. But I remember hearing her talking about it, and like we were just like chatting and talking about these stories. And I remember one time she said that she like I don't know how the topic came up, but we talked about like when did we start writing, and she mentioned how she'd been writing since she was a kid. And as she wrote, she got more and more expansive and more excited about her stories. And she would write them down and make little books, even as a kid. And she would bring them to her parents. Specifically, she had a lot of respect for her dad. Well, I mean, and everyone like kind of has a usually like unless you have a very, very like unstable childhood, a lot of times we look up with a hero complex to our parents, whether they deserve it or not. In her case, her parents were very solid, very, together people, very good, participated in the community, highly respected, good jobs, well provided for, everything you could really want from a family. But she would talk about this. I remember her story where she would say that she'd worked really hard on writing a story, and like it was one of the first ones that she typed up. So she like typed it up, she printed it out, kind of bound it loosely in a basic cover. Something significant length for a kid, right? Like a early teens, maybe. I think maybe like 12, 11 years old, I think she said. So she bound it as best as she could, put it in a notebook, drew like a cover for it, and she gave it to her dad, being like, look, I worked really hard on this. I wanted to share it with you. She's like, look at the story I wrote. I've been working really hard on it. And he like picked it up, he looked at it, opened the first page and said, oh, that's really interesting, and set it down and never looked at it again. Now, in his defense, he was very busy, and he just had no real interest in that. He wasn't much of a reader. Like, when I talked to him, I got the very clear implication that he didn't read fiction, like, at all. Maybe he had when he was younger, but he'd long put that aside, and he focused on biographies, bibliographies, historical, accounts and such, like, very much grounded in nonfiction. But I could tell based on the way she showed the story that when he'd picked up the book that she'd worked really hard on that was personal to her, glanced at like the first couple pages, congratulated her on her hard work, put it down, and never looked at it again, it kind of broke her in a way. Not in the like oh, traumatic and needing counseling. I mean, maybe it could help, but like it was never like to that point. But from that point on, she just felt this kind of disconnect with him. And I think that's what Touma's experiencing here. It's like suddenly realizing, oh, my mom's never, it's almost more like she went out of her way not to talk to him than to talk to him. Her motivation for that, who knows? Maybe she just always had a warm soft spot for her sickly child. And when the schism arose between the parents, she just never felt a connection. Which is a harsh thing to say, but parents are people. But it's just funny for me because it's like, I feel like for the first time, I actually relate with Touma a bit. I understand a bit because I saw a friend who got essentially snubbed by a parent whom they cared a lot for, whom they assumed cared for them in the same way. But like my friend, just a small little conversation suddenly kind of triggered this realization that there's apparently this barrier that's there. Now, I think for Touma and his mom, that's a much more serious one because she exited the family life and just went essentially no contact with him, despite the fact he's a young adult, a kid or young adult. It's why? Why do that unless it was intentional? In my friend's case, I think it was just a fact that he put so little value in something like creative writing. He didn't make the connection that just because it didn't mean a lot as a genre to him, it didn't mean that it didn't mean a lot to her. And she spent a lot of her childhood wanting to have a connection with him, wanting him to kind of give her praise, to be able to recognize her, because all of her passions, all the things that she was obsessed with and excited about, were just these dalliances in his eyes. They were never things of substance. He'd be like, that's great, but every time she did something or reached for something or accomplished something. And I imagine even my friendship with her was a that's great, but for him, because while I was a consistent friend for years with her, I always got that impression that he felt like she could do better, that she could spend time with people who were of higher caliber, had greater potential, who had more stable family situations. And it's sad, but that's just the kind of person he was. He was so by the book, do it the right way, or and there's no way but the right way kind of person. And the thing is, I still respect the guy because he is an accomplished person, but I never ever could forgive him for how dismissive he was of someone whom I cared about so much. And it sucks because it's I always imagine her listening to this and being able to probably put together who I'm talking about. And I can see her being really mad about that. If for some reason you're listening to this, don't be mad. This is just my interpretation of that sitting. Because now I almost feel it'd be weird. I doubt that she is. But understand that I would be drawing this connection because I'm seeing it. This idea that sometimes even if parents, if you were to ask them, would be oh, absolutely, I love my kids. They inadvertently, willingly or not, usually not, I'd guess, can kind of put up this wall in front of their own kids. And the kids, for kids, that's the craziest, most insane thing that could ever happen in their life. But for a parent, especially if they start seeing that kid as an adult, it's just how you talk to people. I don't know, it's weird. I'm sorry for the long tangent. Just something it kind of struck a chord all of a sudden. And of all the people having their dark moments, this is the one I actually feel like I've seen happen before. Next thing you knew, a strange scent filled the sterilized room. The scent of strong perfume mixed with the scent of a half-dried cloth gave him a headache like no other. The face of the man before him seemed to twist and warp. Ooh. So, Morishika has no idea what's happening here. This is what Touma feels. Touma. The distorted shape that appeared in its place made him want to scream. Who are you? What do you mean? What do you mean? Don't you remember the flesh we ate together? Oh. Oh, wait a minute. What's happening here? I'm Mamiya, Touma. No! You're not! You're not the Mamiya I believe in! Touma's hands couldn't stop shaking. His cells, the Mamiya that had become his flesh, were speaking to his senses. Now that he himself had become proof that of Mamiya's existence. His survival instincts were telling him that tolerating false Mamiyas would make the Mamiya he believed in vanish. Get out of my brother, you devil! Get out? But your brother's exactly the Mamiya you can't tolerate. An awful stench made him want to throw up. Why, Hibiki? Mamiya isn't like this. The Mamiya that saved me wouldn't try to seduce the nurses. Wouldn't talk to his mother without his brother's knowledge. Well, I am poor, young, sickly, and bored boy with tons of free time, so let it slide, will ya? Touma wondered. Was he not a poor boy too, simply because he was born healthy? I don't know, though. The value of health probably supersedes a lot of monetary value. You're the big bro here, so let me have this. Now, did that actually happen? Because if so, that would be like something that he was maybe trained to say from Mayuri. But it also feels like that was not real. Snow was quickly falling. On an uninhabited island in the north of Great Britain, Hibiki and Touma were both humans. A feeling that was hidden by layers upon layers of fallen snow, never to be seen. Because of silent poison as it overflowed into the surface. I didn't become your brother because I wanted to. The treasure island began running away and collapsed. Bro? Yeah, I think all that was like a vision, essentially. Like a hallucination. But he actually said that. The brother-like thing that Touma that looked at Touma with an uneasy expression. I hope you get healthier sooner than later. That was the first day he acknowledged the existence of the poison that had accumulated within him. It was a malice that had been growing for many years, started even before he devoured Mamiya's flesh. The thing he'd pretended wasn't there now was sneaking out of his stomach and corrupting the space between his muscles. I'll turn it all into a joke. It became flowing blood. Every single thing. And gradually recolored his cells. That was what's just right. When he next opened his eyes, he was dominated by a feeling of omnipotence from head to toe. He himself became like a poison. Hibiki, there's something I can only discuss with you. One day, he called Hibiki to the hospital's desolate waiting room. It was also the smoking area. There's no sunlight here, and a damp air struck to Hibiki's throat. Recently, I've been worried about the way Dad's using his money. Touma created multiple lies and spoke them with meekness that made it all sound true. As Touma spoke, Hibiki got scared and nodded with a serious expression on his face. I had no idea. I can't blame you. You're mostly bedridden. You're going through all this bad stuff, and I can't do anything to help. Touma felt those words were very true. What do you think I should do, Hibiki? I'm at a loss. Looking like he was driven up into a corner, Hibiki thought for a while before carefully speaking up. How about we talk to Mom? She should be the only one who can stop this. Right, there's her, but I haven't talked to her in so many years. I'll do it. I'll try to convince her to come back. So you don't worry about a thing, okay? I'm counting on you, Hibiki. Touma patted him on the shoulder as though making him carry his wish. You're the only one who can keep the family secure. Hibiki had been protected by others for so long that being relied upon filled him with motivation. The beautiful, harmonious sound of a string instrument resounded in Touma's head, supporting him. And you can hear like the music is like emphasizing that point. A man. Yes, it turns out Hibiki's been staying in touch with Mom in secret. Is that what he told? That's what he told me. We haven't seen each other in years. Nothing strange about it. Aren't you upset? You give so much for this family, and then she goes and betrays it? She didn't even call you back when you collapsed. Hibiki's no better. He doesn't think the family either. He doesn't think about the family either. Touma, we still don't know if it's true. I'll talk to her myself. Dad. All I needed was a chance. Like a castle built on sand, this family would be weathered by the elements and inevitably crumble. Here, his father arguing over the phone. You may not like me, but you don't have to get involved in our sons. And you've left for the sake of your own ego. You left for the sake of your own ego, Haruki. Haruki has nothing to do with this. Someone who wasn't there during the tough times can't claim to be part of the family. It was just a push. But you're the one who made it, Haruki. Venus assumed an emotional color and filled the dark room. The solitary flame of the burning candle on the desk gave rise to the outline of objects. The glaring, shining fire was beautiful, resembling both a sluggish hatred and a slow-acting poison. You destroyed this family. So that's the ticket. That's what he did. He poisoned, like, he nudged in just the right ways to poison everything. Gosh darn it. It's so sad. But now having seen that, not only do I feel like I suddenly understand Touma better than, like, most of the others, but if I ever were to, like, I don't know, go the dark path, that's the way it would be. I'm not a fighter. I'm not, like, a revolutionary. But sometimes, if I'm really lucky, I know just where to push. Just where to, like, put a little pressure to send things spiraling in a different direction. It's not often. It's not like I'm nearly, like, a manipulative. But it's just sometimes I can see that line. Sometimes. Hello, Haruki. Sorry for the wait. Oh, thanks. It smells great. Can you tell? I use tea leaves to keep us. We kept specifically for guests. I'm happy you could visit again. On a weekday afternoons, Maruchika Haruki was enjoying tea with Natsumi Soichiro's mother. Oh, okay. Oh, looks like the muffins are done. Give me a moment. Sure. Natsumi's parents. It's so interesting that they're suddenly here. Like, I feel like it's weird that they never came up, like, ever before this. Or if they did, I don't remember it. Which means it was very, very little. Why? Why is my mother having such a good time with my friend? It's embarrassing! Stop it! Sorry. The weather sure is nice. Even Maruchika Haruki seemed to feel awkward. Never thought I'd be having tea with some guy's wifey. Don't call my mother that! Haruki, would you like a banana or chocolate muffins? Whoa, chocolate please. Natsumi's room. It's as empty as before. It's like no one ever lived here. The only worldly thing in here is Mina's photo. He didn't even read the books, huh? His bookshelf is right here. Oh, his bookshelf is right here. She opened a sliding door that exposed the bookshelf, promptly shutting Haruki up. If you see a book you're interested in, I can let you borrow it. Could I? Of course, as long as it isn't too much for you. Natsumi's mother left the room. Maruchika Haruki put on a curator's face as he looked over the covers as if judging them. He looked so prim and proper, doing it that I felt at ease. Huh, I was so tense. Imagine if porn mags popped out while she was here. Wait, that's why he had that face? But man, he was a pretty avid reader, huh? Natsumi Soichiro's bookshelves mostly gave home to translated books by foreign authors. There were some manga, though, along with philosophical works and picture compilations, which immediately caught Haruki's eyes. As he cracked a faint smile, his finger stopped on the book's title. What the? Mamiya? Mamiya, written by Arisugawa Osamu. I know that name. It's a children's book. That's really cool. Interesting. Natsumi had that book. Even if I know it, it's hardly odd for Natsumi to have it. A name he didn't care about when he was younger suddenly caught his attention. Is it a coincidence? That's not an uncommon name. There's nothing suspicious about it. Still, he wasn't able to shake off the unease in his heart. He sat down on Natsumi's bed and opened the book. Ah, His hand, as he was holding it, was shaking. It's not a coincidence. Reading it gave him a clear answer. My Mamiya and this Mamiya are probably one and the same. What was this book? And why did Natsumi have it? What did he know about the mysterious entity Mamiya? Oh, brother, you don't even know. You will now become Mamiya's corpse and go to sleep here. He got chills down his spine as if someone had just touched some ice to his neck. Mamiya's corpse? He had a bad feeling about this. What's wrong, Haruki? I have a question. It may sound rude, but... Oh, no need to hold back. Ask away. It's about Natsumi's death. After he died, it took a while to find him because he was deep in the forest where few people ever went, right? Yes, that is correct. Where is that place exactly? Marchika Haruki took a firm step. What's going on? Why here? You really don't know. But it's where your corpse is buried. This is the forest where Touma strangled me. What? Why is this happening? Why is Mamiya's grave Natsumi Soichiro's place of death the exact same location? Morishika Haruki put strength into his legs he used to support himself. Yeah, that's weird. That's really weird. It's all happened is that like, all these things, all these lines are drawing to this location. Why? If I remember correctly, even like the Pink House residents choosing this as the place where Mamiya was buried was a whim. They didn't actually bury anything there. They pretended they did. And then they deluded themselves to think it was real, consuming the flesh that wasn't there, but essentially cognitively bringing Mamiya into themselves and making it a reality. Like, shared delusion's like the right word. The shared delusion is the right words for all this, but it's like, why is this spot so important? Is it just because it's the spot? Like, it wasn't important until they decided it was where they were going to bury Mamiya, and then it became an important place? And how did Natsumi die here? Marachika Haruki put strength into the legs he used to support himself. You will now become Mamiya's corpse and go to sleep here. The corpse resting here belongs to Mamiya. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good picture. Then Tom was telling me to become Mamiya. Why was Natsumi Soichiro? I mean, why was I found at Mamiya's grave? What was I doing right before my death? Why did I die here? It's about me. And I can still hardly believe any of this. And I'm afraid of finding out. Hey, Mamiya! What is this about? Morishika Haruki shouted as loud as he could, but the girl didn't show herself. Damn it! Why isn't she showing herself when it matters? What's the relationship between you, this grave, and Natsumi? Natsumi's bookshelf contained the children's book about Mamiya. If he'd come to this place after reading the book, did Natsumi also know Mamiya? I didn't. No, I'm not sure. I don't remember anything. Maybe that's the ticket. Maybe that's the real revelation all along, is that we were also a member of like the Mamiya group. What if we also were somehow involved in the Pink House? What if we were a part of all of that somehow? Why do I have memory? Why do I have memories of Natsumi Soichiro, but I don't remember Mamiya? Am I really Natsumi Soichiro? The darkness dwelled in the region of my heart, and that my name was taken from. I was overcome by the sensation of losing ground beneath my feet and being left floating. Then, who am I? As though responding to the chaos, the weather turned increasingly violent. An intense rain poured down into the forest. The wet ground seemed to melt, felt like it could consume you. Ah, lightning. A raging flash beyond the window illuminated Morishika Touma's side profile. An immense human sound ravaged the musician's trained eardrums. How easy it would be if things could be conveyed without words, like how it was with this lightning. The blinding lights of Tokyo Tower from his recent memory was hurting his eyes. Even if you're suffering, it's far better to be in stagnation than to cry for help and receive the painful realization that it's reaching no one. Bro! If only you didn't exist. It's all because of you that It's all your fault. It's all your fault, you unfair weakling. You can't live by yourself, you don't rely on anyone. And that's despite the fact that everyone wants you to be happy. If only we were strangers. Brothers, we're one of a kind. If only we were. How long had he spent hanging his head? His fingers turned cold as the shadows of the dried ends of his hair fell on his cheeks. Norihiko Haruki ran through his memory, starting with the day at the hospital. Call me Mamiya. Mayuri made me call herself Mamiya. I am Mamiya. Then the illusion that appeared after Natsume died called itself Mamiya. You will now become Mamiya's corpse and go to sleep here. Touma wants me to die as Mamiya. On his knees, he gently touched the ground, hiding a corpse. Just what is Mamiya? Natsume, were you aware of the truth behind Mamiya? The rain falling in the dark trickled down his skin. The dead and fictitious both remained silent, refusing to utter a single word. Answer me, Natsume! I guess I will then. Huh. In response, this should never have come. Through the hair sticking over his eyes, he saw a silhouette. Huh. Why? There was a person who shouldn't have been there. The soil, covered by countless fates, was awakened in the back of the conscious mind. Who are you? What the fetch is happening? What the fetch? I'm your friend, Natsume Soichiro. What the fetch was that? What is happening? What is going on? '07, I will call you friend. It's been a while, Haruki. Natsume? Who is this? Why? You're supposed to be dead. They say people often appear when they die, where they die. So you're Natsume's ghost. The mysterious youth didn't deny or confirm that. He only smiled. Are you surprised? Or did you not even believe that I'm a ghost? I'm here dealing with fetch and fiction. Ghosts won't surprise me. Also, you were kind of like a ghost already. I get used to. I guess I used to get that a lot. Me? Wait, did I become able to perceive Natsume Soichiro because I stopped being Natsume and became me? Why'd you show up now? Because I'm your friend. And you need my help, right? So, what do you want? Sorry. Excuse me. That's the sick coming out. I'm guessing I only have a day. Maybe more before I won't be able to record anything, so just buckle up. Let's see how much I can get through this week. Anyway. So, what do you want from this cafe? Hey, it's not me. It's Natsume. He what? What about Natsume? Yeah, I should have guessed you wouldn't see him. Norihiko Haruki looked away with a sad expression. Late December, northern wind passing by, hymns echoing through the church. Most of his memories of Natsume Soichiro were beautiful and silent. He was a person like the air. He was supposed to be there, but you wouldn't realize if he wasn't. Natsume Soichiro is that kind of man. Ah, Mina. Wait a minute. Oh no. I just realized what this might be. Oh no. I just realized that. Remember, that was the thing we discovered at the end of, like, like the end of part 2 is what we discovered at the beginning when he like started when Natsumi started interfering, trying to save everyone from Mamiya, and realized that inadvertently he just changed it, where they were no longer having an illusion of relying on Mamiya, but they started to rely on Natsumi, who then just vanished without a trace, and it was risking just becoming the new Mamiya, essentially replacing Mamiya with himself. That's what this is. Mamiya's gone. Like, because of the good choices and the friendships that have been forged, I think, unless we see otherwise, because he did technically see the nurse Mamiya before, but now she isn't responding to him, but she's gone, and instead, Natsumi has appeared, and no one else can see him. I think this is the Mamiya Natsumi illusion. Like, it's the same thing. It's just Natsumi now. That's what this probably is. And if that's the case, then now we're dealing with a whole new entity, a whole new Mamiya, essentially. Fetch! What are we supposed to do about that? Yet now. You're so cute, Mina. I'm so happy I get to see you again. Me? Are you talking to me? Hey, Haruki. Hey, Haruki, are you free at 8 on the weekends? There's a performance and... Shut it. Ow! You have business, right? Can I wait until I end my shift? Sure. Mina's working here again, huh? Cool. Did Mina take some time off? Yeah, something like that. Haruki exhaled some smoke and made a light chuckle. I happen to know a Mina that you don't. Haruki wondered why the hell he was competing with a ghost. So, it's not like we came here to take a gander at Mina, right? Well, that's kinda it. Gosh darn! It's a joke! I'm just joking. Well, actually, I'm not. I'm only half serious. So, what's the other half? Well, I want to know about Mamiya. You want to know about Mamiya, don't you? Come with me. And bring Tojo. Marichika Haruki and Tojo Minato stood before Natsumi's grave. I met up with Touma, but he kind of avoided the matter. You got mad at him for me? Yeah. You think I shouldn't have? Here's something else, man. Soichiro's grave? Sorry, I just really want to say hi to him. He still wasn't buried, but if you don't mind that. My grave, huh? Looking back, they said it would bury me after a month. What do they want with an empty grave, though? Welcome to my grave. That said, it's still empty right now. So, why the hell would you call us here? I want to tell you about Natsumi Soichiro's life. Natsumi Soichiro. Born in 1995, he could hear the voices calling for Mamiya since he was 4 years old. Huh? And what they wanted from me was help. Who's this now? I'd prefer it if you didn't interfere anymore. Mamiya, you? Such a shame. I was about to take Haruki to the Trichiliocosm. Mamiya wants help from you? I never once wished for that. We're not the ones who got help. We're the ones who save others. Are you, Mamiya? Oh, you're just like in the book. Just like... Don't act like you don't know anything about Mamiya. Natsumi, you can see her, but only I should be able to see this Mamiya. It looks like I'm not the only one who gets to see her too. Huh. Oh boy, we're just tripping all over the place now. Hello, Minato. Minato, have you been well? Turning around, Haruki saw Tojo Minato exchanging a look with the girl, his face all pale. Tojo? Why? The Mamiya illusion isn't yours alone. Haruki's face, the source of the voice, had felt a sick touch to the tip of his nose. What? There's a strange child wearing a tailcoat and a gas mask. Bro, why are you here? He'd never seen this place before, and he couldn't help but feel like this was Morichika Touma. Hey, what's going on? Mamiya, what's the connection between...
Oh, you should have realized it during the dinner. Everything's connected, ever since the day of his funeral.
It's been connected since Natsumi's funeral. With a small hand, Mamiya caressed the still open grave. The next moment, a numbness came over me. Hey, Natsumi, where'd you disappear to?
Dead men tell no tales, do they? Now let's go, Hibiki. You'll be buried by warm sheets and doze off into sleep. I'm sure it will be more pleasant than sleeping in a womb.
It was so hot, I felt like my body was on fire. Despite that, my fingers felt as cold as absolute zero. I had to watch what happened to Morichika Hibiki, but... Oh, fetch V. Wait. Okay, I need to save, because I'm probably going to make the wrong choice here. So ask Natsumi for help, or endure it by myself. I don't know, man. I think asking for help is the better choice here, because otherwise I think we're just going to be, like, impotent. Natsumi, help! I tried asking the ghost of Natsumi Soichiro for help, but he was nowhere to be found. I'm going to disappear. Please stop. The illusion's cruel hand wiped away the majesty of the grave.
Goodbye.
Hey, Natsumi.
There. The nuisance is gone now. Let's go back, Hibiki.
Morichika, what's going on? Was Natsumi here? He disappeared.
What? So Mamiya is out to hurt Natsumi and us?
They're illusions. If we want to know what's up, all we can do is ask them.
Alright, I'll talk to Touma. I'll tell him to stop trying to hurt you. But man, I really didn't want to find out at Natsumi's grave.
Sorry, Tojo. They hung their heads and supported each other as their miserable shadows fell on an empty graveyard. Sorry for getting you involved. A sense of loss overcame them. The sun with no place to go glared at them from behind the clouds.
Oh my, you sure are close. Very well. If you don't intend to sleep, why not talk to me?
Oh boy. Yeah, I think I made the wrong choice.
Make a pact with me. I want you to stop doing awful things to Morichika.
Mm-hmm. And a judging stare hit Touma Minato. And you'll take his place. You're saying you can be an outlet of my sense of loss. Yes.
Oh, is he that important to you?
You don't get it. More than that. I just don't want to see you get hurt. Instead of replying, the woman simply let out a delighted chuckle. You're fine with anything as long as it's Mamiya, right?
No, it's not that simple. You don't understand a thing.
Saying that like a curse, Ni'igaki Mayuri raised her head.
Are you sure about this? I really don't think you can endure it.
Morichika Hibiki remembered his exchange with Touma Minato. Hibiki didn't understand his brother, while Minato didn't understand Mayuri. However, if they switched to adults they dealt with, they would certainly find good memories of each. They would most likely withstand being switched as their stress outlets. Is that something an ex-nurse should say?
That's exactly why I'm saying it. Go and get bedded.
Huh? Ni'igaki Mayuri's suggestion to Morichika Hibiki was a crazy one.
Here's a list of customers, the regulars, so they'll be gentle.
Wait, I'm not getting this at all.
You said you'd be Minato's replacement, right?
Did you seriously plan to make Tojo do something like this?
Yes.
He knew her cold words were not to be taken at face value. However, at the same time, he could sense that the hatred in her eyes was by no means fake. Alright. Dang, so she was going to do that. She was essentially going to pour her resentment of what she had to go through onto Minato. Like, in the cruelest of ways. That's insane. For now, he had no choice but to accept the list.
Why would you do this?
Within a few weeks, Tojo Minato became emaciated.
I don't like you being healthy.
Morishika Touma diligently fed him soup with a spoon. With the pretense that it was to prevent him from falling down the stairs again, Tojo Minato was locked away. I don't want you walking around without my knowledge. Don't want you learning new things without my knowledge. I want your pale and boring world only ever shine from the things I give you.
Touma, this is not right.
Not right? Haven't you seen this coming ever since you presented me with the pact? Tojo Minato deeply regretted the pact he'd made to save his friend.
This is not right.
It wouldn't be long before he'd also lose his mind. Outside the window, he'd grown so tired of seeing he anticipated a future of inevitable doom. And this future came faster than expected. Dang, man.
Minato, Minato, stop! Shut up! Stop! This doesn't even begin to match what you did to me. Hey. Come on, speak up.
He kicked away the bloody defender, making him regain consciousness.
What were you planning to do with Hibiki?
Something you can't solve. The flame of his life was guttering out.
No one can replace a brother.
As the room's temperature dropped, Tojo Minato was simultaneously overcome by regret and a deep fatigue.
I became just like them. I don't want to be alone. I want someone to share my sins with.
He opened the door and found a scrawny, naked man holding down an old woman.
Let's go. We gotta kill.
Dragging their clothes neatly placed on the floor, he kicked away the sheets and rushed out of the room. The hell are you saying?
I killed Touma.
Huh?
What do? I killed Touma. There's no going back from this. It's over.
Jojo.
That's why. You should also kill Miss Ni'igaki.
There's no way I can.
I'll help you.
Saying that, he tightly grasped his colorless hand.
Become like me.
Fetch me. This is a dark future. Holy crap. The hand was strong as the one that held the knife that killed the man's brother. The room was full of scent of fatigue and perfume. Tojo Minato took in the smell and squinted his eyes.
Miss Ni'igaki, it's been a while.
You, what the? He easily overpowered the woman and pushed her down on the floor.
Morishika, hurry!
The sharp order echoed through the room. Tojo, I can't.
Do it!
The voice became stricter as well as more desperate.
Do it, Morishika, hurry!
The blade pierced Ni'igaki Mayuri's body. Blood splattered over. The brain was pulsating. A shriek. Mayuri! She's still alive. Put out the knife! Ni'igaki Mayuri lost the power to resist, so let her go and ran up to so he let her go and ran up to Morishika Haruki. I can't.
Really? That makes me feel bad for her. What a poor girl. Maybe I should finish her off myself.
No. I'll do it.
Alright.
As Tojo Minato watched over him with cold eyes, the last act had begun. By this point, the room had filled with the scent of blood, unpleasantly tickling the nostrils of the living.
We gotta run.
Morishika Haruki didn't argue against that. He felt that they had to turn themselves in. Though they might have been unable to bear the suffering, a crime was a crime.
Let's run, Morishika.
However, he didn't say anything. Morishika Haruki brought his bloodied hands close to Tojo Minato. It's cold. They crouched down to keep warm. It's so cold.
Morishika, I'm here with you.
Tojo Minato called his name over and over. His voice was shaking, but he still was able to act brave, because Morishika Haruki's hands were frighteningly cold.
It's okay, Morishika.
Tojo Minato had not only realized that Haruki Morishika was naturally gifted as someone others wanted to care for. As long as someone was gentle to him, they could remain strong and firm.
I will protect you.
Before the day was out, the two had disappeared from Tokyo. It seemed as though the trip from a while ago was a dry one for this one. Their sinful hands never lit any warming flames. Fetch, that was insane. Ending, burned black. Wow. Doomsday ending 10. Sheesh. Holy crap. Alright. So, let's load real fast. We'll go back to this choice, and we're going to see if we get a different ending if we choose endure it by myself. But dang, that was crazy. That was bleak. I never thought, I never expected the Minato would be able to do that, especially because he was emaciated. Like, part of like that type of physical abuse, the purpose of malnourishment is to make it so that the person can't fight back. So the fact that Minato managed to figure out how to do so is impressive. But let's endure it. I choose to endure this. Get your hands off Natsume's grave. Huh. It's not something you should touch. Marchika Haruki gently put his palm on the grave. Forget sleeping right now. I want nothing more than to cover the mystery behind his death and Mamiya.
You're so cool. Way cooler and better at being a detective than I used to be.
So you're no longer a clueless child.
I'm not a child either. Tell us everything, Mamiya. Tell us what kind of ties brought us here. It has nothing to do with you. What? What? This isn't just about Marchika. I'm telling you, I'm joining in. It's fine, isn't it? It wasn't fair until now. I'll reveal everything to you, Haruki, you grave robber. Along with the empty grave and the pain.
At the same time, Ni'igaki, Mayuri, and Marchika Touma were at Mamiya's grave.
I got this book from Haruki. Did you know about it?
Yeah.
Arasugawa actually wrote it. He was able to write about Mamiya. Coming here always reminded me of the end of the 20th century, whether I like it or not. We only wanted to see Mamiya. So why did we become Mamiya and try to make others acknowledge that Mamiya existed?
You yourself became Mamiya.
And your souls are chosen by Mamiya and accepted by Mamiya. Chosen and accepted. But I simply call Touma Mamiya sometimes, that's it. And that's enough. All that matters is that we added thoughts that are positive to the framework of Mamiya.
So it's like that thing, right? A meme?
And? So you got me to acknowledge you as Mamiya, what of it? Both of you became Mamiya as well. What do you mean?
To get someone else to acknowledge that Mamiya existed. No, to increase the number of Mamiya.
Huh?
It's like a pyramid scheme. They want us to become intermediaries too. They wanted to make us participate in spreading the meme of Mamiya. I like how now it's a meme, but it's like the most horrifying meme of all time.
All in order to share the illusion with more people and make it more firm. I did it to Haruki.
You did it. You did it to Minato.
You did it to Minato. We both instilled our Mamiyas into them. And I believed that this would assure a happy ending. I believed in it, and yet... By acknowledging Touma as Mamiya, I instilled them within Mamiya myself. I get that much. But then why? Why did Ni'igaki assault me?
She just...
It's not related, right? Even now, I feel like you're Ni'igaki, and I'm really scared. Oh, my.
Right, I was curious about that too. They instilled the same Mamiya, so why did Marchika Touma assault Marchika Haruki? Because Mamiya and Touma didn't like the same Mamiya.
Huh?
The Mamiya that Mayuri instilled in me and the Mamiya that Touma instilled in you are different things of the same kind.
What do you mean?
It created a discrepancy in the things they believed in.
Right.
Okay. So Mamiya was a single entity. But each of the people in the pink house created... They imagined Mamiya as different entities. Because each one saw a different version of Mamiya, right? Like the woman, the girl, like the young man, everything. Like they all saw a different Mamiya. So while they all believed in the same Mamiya, the manifestation and the impressions of the Mamiya was different. So that meant that when they tried to pass on the different Mamiyas, they passed on essentially a version that was reflective of what they saw themselves as Mamiya. And now the problem it's causing is that they're seeing other people's who are experiencing and perpetuating the Mamiya illusion, but they perceive Mamiya as different than the version they like, and they can't stand that. So inadvertently, while they're all trying to perpetuate Mamiya, they're also poisoning each other's like versions of Mamiya, and these kind of different versions are abhorrent to them, and so they're trying to destroy the other people whom they entrusted Mamiyas to. So like they're seeing the other person that's instilled within a Mamiya, and they hate what that is, and they destroy it. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
You're so smart, Marchika Haruki.
Christianity is a single religion, but has a lot of denominations. There's even been wars between them.
So you're saying that even though I believe the same Mamiya, there are discrepancies that lead to conflict?
I'm guessing that. Yeah, using Christianity as a model makes a lot of sense there. Touma couldn't tolerate the Mamiya that Mayuri instilled in me.
Then they should have fought between themselves from the start. Why'd they have to drag us into this?
Probably because they didn't know back then.
Huh?
Mamiya had no shape at the time. Only after instilling Mamiyas in us did they become able to see the Mamiyas of other people.
It's sad, but such comparisons can only be made after you see them in a human form. If only we could have done what Arashigari did with the book, and used some different form. But it's too late now, isn't it?
Basically, this is the timeline. 1. Mamiya the illusion appeared before Mayuri and Touma's group. That gets close to them as friends and goes on to disappear. 2. Mayuri and Touma become Mamiya themselves and instill Mamiya in us. 3. Upon seeing the Mamiyas within me and how different it was from his own, Touma snaps. 4. Years pass and your Mamiya illusions suddenly appear alongside Mayuri and Touma. This is where we are now.
Thanks, that helped me digest it. I had no idea I was caught up in something so complicated.
We're not even into the important part yet, though. Marchika Haruki looked right at the two illusions. If Mamiya doesn't exist, why are you acting like Mamiya's corpse does? Back at the end of the century, what was it that Mayuri and Touma did to become Mamiya?
Something that only could be done with a corpse. Since ancient times, there hasn't been too many kinds of rituals that lead to assimilation.
Oh, look at this picture. Oh, this is cool. It's terrifying, but it's really cool too. Eating.
Yes, we ate Mamiya's flesh. But that's contradictory. You are correct. The contradictions calls for an establishment of consistency. But how? All will become consistent if we eat the flesh of Mamiya with a real body. It doesn't matter who. Now, a question. Who in the world is a Mamiya that possesses flesh?
Oh. You're saying that's us, huh? Mamiya's chosen. What a fetched up paradox. Is that why you told me to enter the grave? So you could eat my flesh as Mamiya's?
Our original mistake wasn't calling ourselves Mamiya to Hibiki and Minato, but by eating Mamiya's flesh right here, that was the ultimate turning point. And Mamiya doesn't even exist.
Then whose flesh did we eat? What sin are we shouldering right now? You have your own sins, and you'll no longer be able to shift the blame on flesh you devoured. Are you okay with that? Huh. Neither of us can turn back now. We strayed from the path, and we have no choice but to keep treading the trail of beasts. And these trails have their own rules to them. The game began long ago, and the pair is you and me. Don't get in the way. We're both going to hell, but you don't want to return to the earth, do you? Didn't you disappear? After they were done explaining, the Mamiya disappeared. Tojo Minato then began feeling ill and went home. As Haruki stood alone by the grave, his dead friend appeared again. You moved Mamiya's hand aside, so I'm probably fine. Probably. I'm sure I'll move on by the end of December. Who are you to Mamiya? For a long time now, I've been receiving voices that were seeking Mamiya. Mamiya, where are you? Hey, Mamiya. Such sorrowful calls came to me. Since then, I started gradually looking into Mamiya. Arisugawa Osama's book was one of my resources. I actually wanted to contact the author himself, but that didn't work out. Could you touch this grave again? It's like a little spell to prevent you from dying as Mamiya. With this, you're now halfway in my grave. Who let you? If I didn't do this, you'll become Mamiya and be dragged into the forest. It's okay. My other half, you won't die. Huh? They seek to be saved. I want you to grant them salvation in my stead. Only you can do it, Morishika Haruki. Me, save Touma. There's no way No, you can do it. After all, you are my friend. I will call you friend. Okay, well, it's got spicy. All right, we're going to stop here. It's probably close to an end. But, we had that bad end, right? But now look at this. Look at where we're going. It's really going on. Yeah, I must have really missed the boat with the first two sections because this clearly depicts this idea that there was a lot more to be explored. Wow. And we actually got finally some real answers. I like how Touma and Mayuri also are kind of confronting the fact that, like, they've kind of messed up. And now it almost feels like they either are going to be saved or they're going to have to kill one or the other. Like, each generation of the Mamiyas, like the Mamiya creators, like, either they have to eliminate each other, which is what the bad ending was, or we have to find some way to break this illusion. And that's going to be really interesting to try and explore. Very cool. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that episode. That was really powerful. There's a lot that spoke to my heart in this one. And like, we saw some real like progress here for once, which is insane. Very cool. Very exciting. I imagine when I go back to Suo and Ryo's story, I'm going to have to do some digging to figure out what questions I didn't answer right to like get us onto the right path. Because I feel like I just hit every bad ending in that one. So we'll have to just see where we can go from there. But this is really fun. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. I'm going to give my voice a break. Hopefully there's more videos coming out, but if not, I'm sure I'll make a post about it in the near future. But regardless of what happens next, thank you so much for being a part of the journey with me. You're wonderful, and I appreciate your time here. And I hope that you continue to have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for everything you've done. And when I say by everything you've done, it's by watching these videos and being here, especially supporting these smaller series. Thank you. It means the world to me. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, that you come back next week for more episodes of this, and maybe some of the other videos I've been making on the channel will pique your interest. But until that time, we will have to wait. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And until the next video you're watching me ever see me in next, I'll see you there.